The F1 2026 season open is finally here, which means it's time for my predictions as well. I'm the grid guy. Without any BS, let's quickly get into the prediction, shall we? Alright, so the private shakedown is done and the preseason testings are done. The first race of the season is finally here this week and I'm very much excited. And yeah, it also means that I'm gonna make some predictions for this race. And here's the list of what predictions I'm gonna do. A quick go through of what it's gonna be in the video. So I'm starting with the overwhelming driver of the weekend, and then it's gonna be the underwhelming driver, and then overwhelming team, underwhelming team. And then we get down to the real stuff, which is the pole position, P3, P2, and P1. So, no beating around the bush. Let's quickly get into the predictions. First up, starting with the overwhelming drive of the weekend. The season opener, Australian Grand Prix, and the overwhelming performance of a driver this weekend, for me, is going to be Max Verstappen. Yes, you heard me right. Max Verstappen, best driver on the grid, and he will continue where he left off. He will just, carry his momentum from the last year, and also he's one of the drivers who has adapted to this new regulations perfectly, and also which suits his driving style. And now we are talking about the Albert Park, and for me, my theory this season is that the winners, the competition is going to be more on the type of circuits which they are going to race in, and the top four looks incredibly close. And in the preseason, we have known that the Red Bull looks consistently good with how they deploy their energy and how they manage their battery, especially in the straights and in the hands of Max Verstappen. And now in the Albert Park, if you go through the track layout, it's mainly straights in the second sector, and also some straights in the first and third sector. But in the second sector, we do have some corners, but we don't have heavy braking zones, to be specific. And that's gonna help him. That's gonna help the Red Bull in deploying their energy, and their energy management was very good in the long runs, and that's what matters in the race. And with the new regulations, that's everything. How we play with the battery, how we manage things. And he bought a specific driving style, which was taken as an inference from other teams as well over the course of testing. And he will just pull out a masterclass is what I'm feeling in this first race. And and he will extract everything from that car. He will extract everything from that kind of expectations from the new regulations, and he will place that Red Bull where it shouldn't belong in the early part of the season. So that's my overwhelming driver of the weekend. Alright, so moving on. So who is going to be the underwhelming driver this weekend? And I feel it's going to be, sorry my boy, Lance Stroll. Now, I have various reasons to pick Lance Stroll. It's not entirely on him, on why he will have the bad drive this weekend. I would say it's a bit of 50-50. So 50% is everything about the car, and at the moment it looks terrible. And on all sides of things, it looks terrible, both with the battery, with the PU, and also with the chassis and how they have adapted the PU in the chassis. So it's not looking good. And when you compare the drivers in the team, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, I think Lance Stroll is going to have a bad performance in the car. And that's going to be the other 50%. I think he doesn't enjoy the current driving style and how you need to drive these cars. And I feel he's going to snap under the frustration, and a big mistake is going to come up. And that's just my vibe. And I strongly feel that he's gonna pull out a blunder with his frustration, and that's going to be very underwhelming this weekend, I feel. Okay, drivers done. Let's move on to the teams quickly. And my overwhelming team of the weekend is going to be, it's a no-brainer, Mercedes. So this is the first race of the season opener. Based on the private shakedown, the season testing, the preseason testing, everything, I am all in for Mercedes at the moment. I don't know why. That car looks like a complete package, and also now they're going to get an upgraded PU this race, which did not have in the preseason testing. And yeah, they're both drivers, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli, look very comfortable with the car, with that new regulations as well, and how they were driving in the preseason testing. They were right up there, and I don't know what others think, but my feeling was they were sandbagging a lot. They did not show their true pace, and that's gonna be unleashed. Okay, so now who is the most underwhelming team of the grid? And yeah, no surprise, no brainer, it's going to be Aston Martin. For them, as a team, everything looks bad at the moment, and their PU doesn't look good. Their car overall doesn't look good, and they had very less data in the preseason testing, and they couldn't complete many laps, and their reliability looks very, very bad. And I am in the feeling that I don't know if they are going to finish the race altogether, and I have a strong feeling that they are going to carry where they left off in the testing, and that's that bad momentum they have right now. But I also have this feeling that they are going to improve, and they are the team with most improvements as the season progresses. But now in the season opener and how they looked in the testing, they're going to be the most underwhelming team, and it's a miracle if they finish the race. Now, into the real stuff. Who is going to get the pole position for the Australian Grand Prix? And my prediction is George Russell. Yes, sign me up. The early favorite of the season, and the Mercedes looks strong. They're getting an upgraded PU package, and George Russell is going to capitalize on that, and he is going to get the first pole position of the F1 2026 season. They look good. I mean, he looks good as well in the testing. He was right up there with the fastest times. Yes, Ferrari got it eventually, but Mercedes, like I said, they were sandbagging a lot with the pace, and with the true pace unleashing this weekend, I don't see why George Russell couldn't grab a pole position. He's going to have a fight with his teammate for the pole position, but I think eventually experience prevails, and he's going to get the pole position, and he's going to start the race from P1. So now, the top 3 of the weekend, and my P3 for Australian Grand Prix is Lando Norris. Yes, the reigning world champion, LN1, he is going to take the 3rd place in the podium. So now, I'll retrospect back to what I said in the video, starting of the video, that this is going to be more circuit specific, and the top 4 will shuffle over the season on how the track changes or how the circuit changes from race to race. And I have not included Ferrari, spoiler alert. And the reason I have excluded Ferrari is that they look really strong. Don't get me wrong, but their car suits more to the slow corners, the heavy braking zones, and Bahrain was the perfect example how they were performing with those slow tight corners with the heavy braking zones in different turns. And Albert Park is not that, and you mainly have medium speed corners or more of a high speed corners and fast sections, and that's something I think this generation of Ferrari car is still trying to adapt to. And over the long race runs, it's Mercedes who looks consistent with their energy deployment, and Ferrari is still trying to catch up. They look good in one lap pace, but in the long runs they still have some work to do. especially in the fast sections like Albert Park. And yes, Lando Norris, he's driving a McLaren. They looked really good. They were underrated, are still underrated. And also they are going to get the new upgraded Mercedes PU for their car. And also this type of regulations, you need a low grip driving style. Like for example, when you consider last year, it's going to be more like how you drive the cars in the Austin or in the Mexico, or let's say in Las Vegas, where the grip is very low, and drivers who thrive on that suits these cars better at this point of time. And Lando Norris is definitely one of them. If you take last season, like I said, Austin, Mexico, Las Vegas, he demolished, and he was much better than Piastri. So I was actually close in thinking who is going to be P3, and yeah, I think Lando will edge Oscar out and he grabs the P3 of the season opener. Alright, okay, so the P2 of this weekend is going to be Max Verstappen. Like I said, he's going to have an overwhelming drive. He is going to extract every ounce of performance from that car, and he will use the advantage that he has at the early part of the season with the car, how it's good in the straights. And yeah, Max will just be Max in this race, and he's gonna grab a tremendous P2. He will have a good race, and he will have a clean qualifying. He will do what he needs to do, and he will achieve the second place in the Australian Grand Prix. So now the P1 of the Australian Grand Prix, the race winner is going to be George Russell. Yes, all in for Mercedes, season opener. Like I said, it's a complete package. It's a strong package, and Russell, having taken pole position in my predictions, he will convert that into a race win, and he will have a clean race, and he doesn't do any mistakes. He's consistent at this point of time, and yeah, he will just maximize the grid position that he starts in, and he gets the first win of the race season. And this is the same podium we had, but in the reverse order in the last Australian Grand Prix 2025, where Norris was first, Max was second, and George was third. And now it's going to be reverse, where George is going to get the first place, Max will hold on to second, and Lando grabs the third place. Okay, so these were my predictions for the season opener. These are just my vibes, some of the theories which I learned during the testing, and how the drivers are looking good or bad. And this is nothing to do with the original picking order, which we still don't know. And these are only based on the facts that what we have an idea about. Also not completely factual, but yeah, just vibes. And after this race, we are gonna get a perfect clarity or an idea on how the teams are stacked, or how the drivers are looking with the cars, and everything about how the season progresses. But what do you think? Please let me know in the comments down below, and let's have a discussion about the predictions, because the predictions are something which is very fun and exciting according to me, and I love making predictions every weekend. I used to make them since past 10 years, but this is the first time I'm making it in the video with you guys. So yeah, kindly let me know in the comments what do you think, and make sure you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have been getting some love, some affection, some appreciation to my recent videos, and I will continue making them, and I'll continue to bring some good F1 content to you guys. So in order to stay tuned for that, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon with the next upcoming video. Cheers.